Clara and I had been together for 3 years. To everyone on the outside, we were a perfect couple. We shared an apartment, our finances, and dreams for the future. We'd even started saving for a house, a modest place to call our own. I thought we were in this together. What I didn't know was that Clara had her own version of together that didn't involve honesty or me. It started with an innocent glance at our bank statement. We had a joint account for savings, where we pooled money every month for the house fund. I wasn't obsessive about checking it, but when I logged in to transfer some funds, I noticed something off. $70,000 was gone. At first, I assumed it was a bank error. Clara wasn't home, so I called her. She answered after the third ring, her voice distracted. "Hey, babe. What's up?" she said casually. "Hey, did you withdraw money from our account?" I asked. "Oh, that? Yeah, I made an investment," she replied, her tone light like she was talking about buying groceries. "An investment? With $70,000? What kind of investment?" My voice was sharp now. "I'll explain everything when I get home. Okay? Don't stress," she said, brushing me off like I was overreacting. Before I could press her, she hung up. That didn't sit right with me. Clara wasn't the type to be reckless with money, or so I thought. Something about her tone, the way she dismissed me, made my stomach churn. I needed answers. Now, I waited for Clara to get home, but as the hours ticked by, my frustration boiled over. I went into her office corner, where she kept files and papers for work stuff. That's where I found it, a manila folder labeled Property Documents. My hands shook as I opened it. There it was in black and white. Clara had purchased a house. But the kicker? She co-owned it with Derek, her ex-boyfriend. My name wasn't anywhere on the deed. When she walked through the door later that evening, I was sitting on the couch, the folder in my lap. Her face paled when she saw it. "What the hell is this, Clara?" I asked, my voice cold. She froze, then tried to play it off. "It's not what you think." Don't you dare," I interrupted, standing up. "You took our money to buy a house with your ex," explained that. Clara sighed, like she was the one who was inconvenienced. "Look, Derek found this amazing investment opportunity. The market's hot right now." And he said, "Derek? Are you serious right now? You used my money, our money, to buy a house with your ex? Without even asking me?" "It's not like that," she snapped. "This is for us. I thought you'd be happy." "Happy? Are you hearing yourself? You went behind my back, drained our savings, and tied yourself to your ex? How the hell is that for us?" Clara crossed her arms, her eyes narrowing. "We're partners. I didn't think I needed your permission to make a smart financial decision." "Partners? Partners don't lie and steal," I shot back. "You know what? I'm done talking. You better fix this." "Fix it? I don't need to fix anything." "You're overreacting," she said, brushing past me. The next few days were tense. Clara tried to act like everything was fine, but I wasn't letting this go. I consulted a lawyer, who confirmed what I suspected. Since the funds came from our joint account, I had legal grounds to claim ownership of the house. It didn't matter that my name wasn't on the deed. I could prove the money was mine. I decided to sell the house. If Clara wanted to play dirty, so could I. She spent more and more time at her investment property, which gave me all the time I needed. I contacted a real estate agent and put the house on the market. Clara hadn't bothered to furnish it yet, so it was an easy sell. Within weeks, the deal was done. When Clara found out, all hell broke loose. She came home one evening, slamming the doors so hard the walls shook. "Where the fuck is my house?" she screamed, storming into the living room. "Your house?" I said, not even looking up from my laptop. "You mean the house you bought with my money?" "I sold it." Her jaw dropped. "You did what?" "You heard me," I said, standing up. "I sold it, and before you start, I made sure the money's in an account you can't touch." "You had no right," she shrieked, her face red with rage. "No right? Are you kidding me? You had no right, Clara. You lied to me, you stole from me, and you thought you could just get away with it? Newsflash. You didn't." She laughed bitterly. "Do you even hear yourself? That money was ours. I made a smart decision for us, and you made a smart decision for you." I cut her off. "Don't pretend this was about us. If it was, you would have talked to me first. Instead, you went behind my back with your ex of all people." Clara shook her head, pacing the room. You're so petty. You don't see the big picture. That house was going to appreciate in value. We could have rented it out, flipped it. Save it, I said. You don't get to justify this. Not anymore. But Clara wasn't done. If anything, the sale of the house only made her more determined to get her way. Over the next few weeks, she pulled every dirty trick she could think of to intimidate me into giving her the money. Clara told everyone who would listen that I had stolen the house and left her with nothing. Friends, co-workers, even her family started calling me, berating me for being heartless. I had to set the record straight repeatedly. She drained our joint account and bought the house with her ex. I told one mutual friend who'd called to scold me. The only person who got screwed here is me. That's not what she said, they replied hesitantly. Of course it's not. She's a liar. Eventually, the truth got out, but not before she had dragged my name through the mud. Clara wasn't above outright fraud either. A week after the sale, I got an email with a PDF attachment, a legal agreement claiming I had consented to the house purchase. It was laughable. The signature was obviously forged, and the wording was so amateurish it looked like she'd Googled how to write a contract. I forwarded it to my lawyer, who advised me to file a police report for forgery. When Clara found out, she backed off, temporarily. As if she hadn't done enough, Clara brought Derek into it. He started messaging me, claiming I owed him for his half of the house. At first, I ignored him, but when he started making threats, I decided to shut it down. Contact me again, and I'll report you for harassment, I texted him. Then I blocked his number. The final straw came when Clara broke into my apartment. I came home one night to find her rummaging through my drawers, looking for God knows what. What the fuck are you doing? I shouted. She jumped, then glared at me. I'm taking what's mine. Yours? I laughed. Get out before I call the cops. You're such an asshole, she spat before storming out. I changed the locks the next day and installed a security system. Clara's last-ditch effort was a letter from her lawyer, demanding half of the proceeds from the house sale. The argument? Since we were in a relationship, she was entitled to the money. I didn't even dignify it with a response. Instead, I instructed my lawyer to countersue for the full $70,000 she had taken from our joint account. When she realized she was fighting a losing battle, Clara finally gave up. I haven't heard from her since. Moving on. Selling that house wasn't just about getting my money back. It was about reclaiming control. Clara thought she could manipulate and walk all over me. But in the end, her entitlement and greed left her with nothing. Now I'm planning my future, this time on my terms. The money I recovered is safe, and I'm using it to buy a house that's truly mine. As for Clara, I've heard she's still living with Derek, struggling to make ends meet. Maybe they deserve each other. Looking back, I don't regret a thing. Sometimes, the only way to deal with entitlement is to stand your ground and take back what's yours.